Jim says, hey, Brian, we started a ball python collection for eventually breeding.
Yeah.
We have a banana pied to a regular pied and a bamboo pin to a pastel bamboo enchi.
Nice.
Any other suggestions for starters?
That's another blue-eye complex.
I was just going to say that.
That's another blue-eye complex is the bamboo. I've said this a million times, and I'll continue to say it, that there's really no bad direction right now. You know what I mean? Like, work with what you like. Work hard at it. Work your projects. If you want to work something that you feel other people aren't doing that you really like, that's great. Or just work things that you think are going very well. Like I think Justin Kabelika has always had an interesting business thing where he would go and try to make that really cool animal, the Pompeii or whatever it was, and then he would be able to sell the ingredients for that mutation. So he would think maybe 2 or 3 years ahead and say, I'm going to produce this, but by producing this, I'm going to be able to sell all of these 3 or 4 ingredients that people are going to really want because they see this gem of an animal that I produce over here. And so you can go about it that way too. You can either just say, hey, I just want to produce really beautiful animals. And that's what we're doing, right? Like, I'm not looking at it as an investment, a business, thing like I used to. For me, I'm just trying to produce animals that I think are going to be really beautiful that people are going to want. So I'm not producing that like really rare, like, oh my gosh, and then selling the ingredients to make that oh my gosh animal. Instead, I'm trying to make that kind of like, maybe not oh my gosh, just gosh, and that animal can sell, and of course we'll keep some stuff and we always have little projects, I always say like, probably my collection is probably underrated now than it probably should be. I mean, I think that if people saw all the animals that I had that I'm working on, I'm not saying it's up there with the big dogs these days, but certainly it's second tier,
for
type
sure,
ball python
dude.
collection.
Beautiful,
I think that if you ask, I got to imagine that the mutations and the quantity of stuff that we have is still top 10, top 12 ball python collections. But we probably don't make the top 50 when people think of us with ball python collections these days, which is my own doing because I haven't promoted myself that way. I've kind of went the other way and tried to say like, I don't want to really promote myself as an investment ball python guy. I want to, really promote myself as like an animal guy, reptile hobby guy, promoting the love and understanding of the animals.
Sweet. By the way, Jerica just let me know that Anna said she feels much better than yesterday, but her body hurts. She has sepsis and kidney stones and a kidney infection.
Jeez.
What happened to you, Anna?
Yeah, so what probably happened was she probably got kidney stones, which caused sepsis.
And a kidney infection.
And the infection, of course, is from the septicemia.
I'm so sorry. I hope you feel better soon.
We love her, and I'm glad that if she's doing better, she's on the road to recovery.
That's my girl.
And, that's good. And that shit can be really bad, it's pretty shocking how as a person that's had kidney stones, in the past, it can rock your world, man.
Yeah, I'm not excited for that.
Let's hope you don't ever have it.
I'm hoping. Carly says, hi, Brian and Jay. Thank you for always staying positive and helping me through the day. Will you get any axolotls for the expansion?
So I'd like to get some axolotls. I think that we'll definitely do something in the aquatic part of the building, whether it's axolotls or hellbenders or something of the sort, something. I'm not sure what yet, to be totally honest with you. The biggest problem with all of those animals is that they need to be chilled, right?
Cool.
Yeah, so you have to literally have a chiller on that tank. Yeah. You can't. There's no way in any part of our buildings will it be cold enough to keep those animals.
It needs to be like 60, right?
I think that the water temperature needs to be about 70-ish, which is still, you figure, 15 degrees colder than what we keep our building,
air is, yeah.
And some of those like hellbenders and giant salamanders, they probably do need to be in the 50s and 60s. As a matter of fact, the Columbus Zoo started keeping them outside.
Wow, really?
Yeah. Now they had places to go inside, but they kept them in a river outside. And I know they were trying to do a breeding project in there, but I don't know. This was a couple years ago when I was down there talking with my friends, and I don't know if they had any success or not, but they had the giant Chinese salamanders.
Wow, that's awesome. Chris says, hey, Brian, what is your advice on me getting a farm-bred Amazon tree boa from Underground Reptiles on Morph Market? Do you know anyone who sells captive bred?
Captive bred are difficult. There's not a lot of people that have them. Jeremy from Brassman Reptiles, or New England Reptile Distributors, but his own company is Brassman. I would talk to him, search him out on Instagram,
he just posted a nice
because
picture.
he posted. Yeah, he works with Amazons. Annulatas are a little bit more common to be bred. Not that they're common because they're more rare than the Amazon tree boas, but they're a subspecies of Amazon tree boa that get a little bit bigger, typically a little bit more docile. And a lot of people are working on breeding them because they're more expensive. But the farm captive animals do pretty well, to be honest with you. So I don't think that's something you should shy away from.
There's a pretty big chance that mine's a cat, like a farm bred.
It's
And it does.
absolutely,
I mean,
yeah.
it's great.
So what happens is,
every week.
and I don't know if Undergrounds is like this or not, but what happens is they come into the country, grab it, and then importers keep them until they have babies. So they're produced usually in captivity.
Right.
So yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. B&H Reptile says, sent you and Jay a message a couple months back about possibly coming up and possibly filming for our channel. Mm-hmm. I don't remember seeing that message. But
Well, please send the message again to
Yeah,
Jay.
send it to me one more time.
Don't send it to me because I won't see it. But if you send it to Jay, we can try to look at a time. Tell me an idea what you're thinking, and
Maybe we can work something out.
I'm always in for collabs.
Pat Greiser says, would you think of breeding Salt and Pepper? Blah, 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 blah.
Well, Salt and Pepper are two females, so we can't breed them together, obviously. We have talked with Gatorland about sending Pepper down potentially in the future in breeding Pepper. I don't think I would ever breed Salt. I just don't think I would ever take the chance
Of anything.
of anything happening to Salt. Not that I want to take chances of anything happening to Pepper, but I would assume that Pepper has a better chance, being a non-albino, to fare better with breeding. But we'll see what happens. I mean, but I would love to. Again, when Gatorland was up here a few weeks back, we talked about it, and we were talking about if we bred an albino to the melanistic, we could produce some double head snows, which would be really dope. So, I think that might happen.
Sweet. Sierra Norris says, second time live. Hey, from Walgreens again. FYI,
Walgreens.
I did wind up getting time off, sadly for health issues, but enjoyed it nonetheless. Thanks for jinxing me.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, but you're welcome.
I'm sorry, but yeah, you're welcome. I hope you enjoyed that time off. Hopefully Walgreens, I mean, hopefully they're starting to jab people
Jab
with
some
those,
folks.
those, I know, I think here in Michigan, Walgreens is just now starting to jab people. So
That'd be great.
That'll be good. Michigan's finally just in the last few days has really started to crush the vaccine game. And as a matter of fact, I've told people I get my first vaccine this Monday. Nervous about it, but excited too, excited to be part of the solution. And I think that, I don't want to go into it too deeply, but I really do encourage people to be a part of that solution. I know it's difficult. I get it. I understand. I'm nervous. I've got my apprehensions, but I don't have my apprehensions about the vaccine or the science behind it. My apprehensions are just, you just don't know how you're going to react. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, most people have little to no reaction. Some people have severe reactions. I'm praying that I'm not one of those people. So whenever you go into it, it's kind of like, I think I heard Noah say something like, if you had what was that? Like a 1 in 2 chance of dying on your way to work.
Yeah,
you would
you
never
wouldn't
go to work.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's 1 in a million shot that there's going to be something really bad happening. But
And there's
always
and
stuff.
if you think about it that same way, like Noah said,
Right.
it's a 1 in 100 chance that you'll die on your way to work.
Yeah, no, exactly.
crazy.
And that's what I'm saying. I mean, 1 in a million are odds that you would probably. Let's put it this way: if you were given a chance to say, "I'm going to give you $1 million," but there's 1 in a million chance I'm also going to shoot you in the head.
I'm taking it.
Probably going to go, yeah, I'll take the mill.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. If
You
you
probably
rolled
go,
like a million-sided die and
Yeah.
we had to get the number one, yeah, you're winning for sure.
Yeah, exactly. If you were like, all right, listen, if you hit this one number in a million, you die.
Yeah, it's like, come
But if
on.
you don't hit that number, you get $1 million. I bet you 99.999% of people would roll the dice
You're right.
and try to get that $1 million. And that's basically what's happening.
And
with
it's not
the
$1 million.
vaccine.
I get it. It's just your life and everyone else's.
It's just your life, but
Yeah.
but it's also everyone else's life, and that's the only thing. If before, and I'm not going to go on a dissertation
Yeah, of
about
course, of
COVID
course.
here, but the one thing that does concern me is that if we don't get to a relatively big part of our population vaccinated,
70, 80, right? Like,
I mean, I'd say 60 would
Yeah.
be. We need to get to 70 to 80 for herd immunity, but there's probably 30% of the population
Sick,
that has
yeah,
already had the virus. That being said, there are some crossover too. So if you take 30%, probably at least half of those 30% of people will get vaccinated.
Right.
So we probably have 10 or 15% that will not get vaccinated and will be immune because of the antibodies. So we have to get to probably about 60% of the population inoculated in order to hit herd immunity. And my concern is that we're going to stall at about 40 to 50%.
Yeah.
And that's a problem. That's a big problem. So be a part of the solution, not a part of the problem, people.
My Truth and My Life says, my name is Leslie from Tacoma, Washington, and I want to thank you, Brian and Lori, and everyone else in the crew for always lifting my day up. Picture coming soon from the coloring book.
Oh, I like it. I can't wait to see it. By the way, Tacoma is beautiful. You would love it, Jay.
I can already smell the air.
I mean, it's God's country there. I mean, just you're right by Mount Rainier. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
It's spectacular out there. We'll get there, yeah, for sure.
Brennan says, definitely coming back for a private tour, Brian.
Oh, well, thank you so much. It's nice. I think the private tours are interesting, right? Because
they are great.
Because like today was really good with my private tour. Number one, it was a couple and their daughter. And they were great people, really, really nice people. Most all of our tours are really nice. But it was interesting today because nobody was here. Because Jay and
you're right.
Asis went out to a zoo to you. Lori went to go pick up something, and she was gone for like 2 hours, and then you went to edit. There was literally not a soul in the building.
Yeah, because like Jessica and all them, they don't get here till after.
So it was an interesting tour to be here. I can't remember the last time I did a tour with nobody else here. But it was nice. But at the same time, even when there's people here, you get obviously a lot more private attention on a private tour. But I like the fact that my private tour today, we're coming back between 5 and 6, so they're here now. Upstairs, they probably just left because it's 6 o'clock. Yeah. But they were here from 5, 6, and I love that. That's what if I were going to do the Reptarium and I didn't own the Reptarium,
right,
I would do a private tour and I would do at least 1 hour of open hours.
Yeah,
because it takes on a completely different feel in here. The magic is different when people are here. So
and you get to watch other people do things. Like on a private tour, typically you're probably not going to like feed alligators unless you did ask for that.
Unless you ask for it, yeah.
Right. So. But you get to see little kids doing that, and that's a magical thing to see a little 5-year-old girl reaching up there. There's gators jumping out. Like it's so cool, man.
Yeah, no, it's super cool. So yeah, please come. Do it. It's awesome. Just keep in mind now, Jay, it's crazy.
I know.
We are literally almost booked
solid,
2 months in advance right now for tours,
dude.
Almost. I mean, it's hard to fit you in unless you're willing to do an off like a Wednesday at 4 o'clock.
That's incredible,
or whatever
man.
The time is. It's like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday completely booked for the next 2 months.
And you extrapolate that, and you think like, is that possible that there would eventually be like a 6-month wait? You know what I mean?
I don't know. I mean,
it's not impossible. I know tattoo artists that do it. So.
Yeah, and that's what I hope that when we expand, we'll be able to do upstairs tours, maybe multiple downstairs tours. There'll be 2 party rooms. You could do, this is what I'm going to love, because we're doing the aquarium upstairs, right?
Yeah.
So there'll be aquatic upstairs. So I don't even know if I told you this, Jay. My brain's been buzzing.
I know, dude.
So you're going to be making a mural. Get your
can't wait.
Get your paintbrush out.
Baby, I'm ready.
So it's going to be all aquatic.
I already see it.
Birthday party room, just like the birthday party room downstairs.
Yeah.
Downstairs reptiles, upstairs aquatic. We're going to have stingrays on the mural.
Dude, here's the move.
Have a shark on the mural. You know what
we do?
Fish.
This is the move. Ready? Mm-hmm. So when we're starting to get ready to build things for the one side, because this is going to be before the aquarium, right? Because we go up, then 3, then over. So when we go to start building stuff for there, we got to go back to Dallas World Aquarium.
Right.
And I'll take a shitload of photos,
pictures,
dude. Yeah, because I could sit there that place is beautiful. I could sit there for 2 hours and take all the photos.
No, I love it. Yeah, I love it. So,
but
then people can do like, hey, do you want to do an aquatic birthday party, or you want to do a reptile birthday party? Or if someone's like, hey, I want to do a reptile, and we're like, hey, the reptile room's booked now, but you could do them upstairs, and we can bring reptiles up, or whatever the case may be.
Right.
We could do anything. I mean, we could do anything. We're going to have a fucking elevator, It's a fucking elevator.
Can you imagine?
I've always wanted a building with an elevator. It's weird. I have some really weird quirks, if you guys haven't noticed. One of the things that I've always wanted is an elevator.
It's not a weird quirk. I think that's that's a come up.
Yeah,
literally.
Like I want the everyday elevator. The everyday elevator, like my everyday Yeezys.
Yeah, my everyday E25s.
Yeah, my everyday
Yeezys and my everyday elevator.
Yeezys, and and then I'm good.
John says, "Evening, Captain. Enjoying the short videos. It's the all important question: Godzilla versus Kong. Who wins? Godzilla, duh.
Yeah.
Isn't Godzilla 30 times the size of King Kong, too?
I mean, you would think that Godzilla has the upper hand.
Fire breath.
I mean, I realize Kong is kind of the hero, so to speak. I love King Kong and I love Godzilla.
You have to pick one. Can't be so nice.
Yeah,
Brian.
it is tough because those are two heroes of mine. I grew up on those. Of course, Gamera. But I don't know how it's going to go. I'm really excited about it because it comes out like this. Isn't it out today or is it next week?
I have no idea.
I think it's out today. I think it's out today. Yeah, Godzilla versus. I think it might be out today. Kong. Yeah, on HBO Max, and it's when's the release date? Does it say?
That's what I'm looking for right now. March 25th.
Yeah, it's today. Or yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah. So, or wait, what day is today?
I don't even know.
Today is the
27th. 2 days ago.
So yeah, it's out 2 days ago. So yeah, we can watch it on HBO Max. So come on, James. I mean, you got to already know.
You already know.
Or John. Why did I say James?
It's
and by the way,
same
every day he says evening captain. He doesn't say evening captain. He just says morning captain.
I like that.
So he always calls me captain. So I like that.
Becky Gallant says, I need to ask.
Becky, how are you?
What is the worst bite you have ever gotten from a snake? Sending much love.
And I'm always interested in Becky. I should be careful.
Man, Becky, yeah, I know, man. Me too, man. Becky's
so Becky, obviously, we interact on Instagram too, and she has the same profile picture there, and I'm wondering, is that her?
Why?
I don't know because that's all. There's no other pictures of her on her Instagram, so I'm curious.
Is that you, Becky?
Becky, are you? Because it kind of looks like an actress or something like that.
You catfishing, Becky?
Yeah, I'm just curious.
You out here catfishing?
So, anyways, what was the question again?
And if anything, you look like an actress, so whatever.
Yeah,
it says,
you look good. If that's what you look like, you look good.
I need to ask, what is the worst bite you've ever gotten from a snake?
You know, I always say the most painful bite. Now, keep in mind, I've been bit literally 100,000 times. And that's no underestimate.
Not a joke.
That's like legitimately.
No hyperbole.
Because, back in the day when I was, you got to remember that for many years, Lori and I were the only employees of BHB. I mean, we weren't employees, we were owners, but we did everything. We did all the cleaning, feeding, and so I'd say on a normal day, I was bit 10 times every day, like 7 days a week, 10 times a day. In some days, way worse, And that was for many, many, many years. That was that way. But I've never been to the hospital one time for an animal-related bite of any sort. Period.
Crazy.
No stitches. No anything at all. But I've always said the most painful bite was actually I was down in Ipswich, Queensland, Australia, and at my friend the Troy brothers. They work with black-headed pythons and womas and carpet pythons. And they took out this big old 9-foot black-headed python that was like, and they're like, oh, this is super tame. And they grabbed me right in the bicep.
And right
in the meat of the bicep. And it would not let go. I mean, they took out the menthol. They took out the rubbing alcohol. They took out, this thing just would get tighter and tighter and tighter. And so that was probably the most painful bite because it lasted about 5 minutes, and the entire 5 minutes I was writhing in pain. So yes, Becky.
Brennan says, do you need a permit for Asian water monitors?
It depends where you're from. Yep. Some places you need permits, some places you can't keep them at all, like they're illegal. Other places you don't need anything. So it depends on where you're from. Check with your local municipalities, your state and local laws, and always abide by what they say.
Yeah, because even in Michigan, it's like by the county.
Yeah. Some places, like in the city of Detroit, you can't keep a reptile at all, period. Not a fish, or not fish. Not
a fish, not a bunny rabbit, not a pepperoni pizza.
Yeah, exactly. Even a pizza you can't keep down there. Trust me, they eat them quick down there. No, you can't keep any. You can't even keep a turtle or a frog, anything down in the city of Detroit.
Damn, son.
Can we rail this in?